This is a fail-proof beginner-friendly okra soup or stew recipe. So if you've never made or ever struggled to make okra soup or stew, just take your pen and paper because trust me, I'm going to teach you how to make this in 3 simple steps. Don't worry, the flavors will be intact. So come along and let's get started on today's video. So if you've never made okra stew or soup before, you can use 1 protein, 2 proteins, 3 proteins, whatever meats that you have, you can use. Okay. So I'll be going for chicken, some willy, and crabs. So the first step, of course, is to season your meat. So I'm going in with some blended ginger, garlic, and onions, and I'm adding a seasoning cube, and I'll go in with some salt as well. Then I'll add enough water to cook this until it's tender enough, okay? You realize that I'm adding a lot of water, okay? You see why very soon. Like I said, this is just a 3 step recipe. And I'm sure once you follow it to the T, you're going to have a delicious Ghanaian okra soup or stew every single time, especially if you're a beginner when it comes to this recipe, okay? So this has been cooking for about 15 minutes. As you can see, it's doing good already. I'm going to go in with some fresh fish. Like I mentioned in the beginning, you can use any protein of choice, okay? So I'm adding my fresh fish. It's just washed. It has not been seasoned or anything, okay? I'm adding it at this point because I want it to soak the seasoning as well and also maintain all of its juices. So make sure you don't skip on this process if you're using fresh fish. Of course, you can fry it as well. Let's go to step 2. I'm adding my okra. So this okra is not cooked, okay? I'll come back to that. And then I'll go in with some palm oil as well. So those are steps 2 and 3. Now let me explain something. Most of us Ghanaians cook our okra on the side before adding it into the main pot of stew or soup, okay? But I know there are some people who struggle with the timing of if that okra is cooked or not enough to be able to be added to the main pot of soup or stew. Here's the thing, you do not have to cook okra for a very long time. I'm sorry to burst your bubble if you ever thought that way, but yeah. So I added it raw, uncooked to prove a point. So once it goes in, I'm adding my oil, my palm oil, okay, which is optional. You can decide not to, and then you have oilless okra soup or stew, and that's also fine. When I stirred at this point, I realized that my palm oil was not enough, so I just went in with more of it, okay. And then I'll give it a good mix and then reduce the fire to the minimum, the lowest, okay, and allow this to cook for about 15 minutes. Trust me, within 15 minutes, your okra should be ready. You don't have to stress, okay? And also, how amazing it is that you only get to wash one utensil after this whole process is done. And one thing I don't do is once my okra goes in, I don't cover my pot until it's completely done. So, why do I do this? Growing up, my mom said that if you cover your okra soup or stew, the pot, I mean, the sliminess is going to cut. Okay, you're not going to have the sliminess. To be honest, I don't really mind about the sliminess because I have kids who sometimes give me hectic time with food, and I honestly don't want the strings of okra to be following them everywhere they go. Okay, but as you can see, the sliminess in this recipe is not that bad. Okay, and I love, 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 love it. So if you're a beginner and you have not been able to successfully execute an okra soup or stew recipe, this video is for you. Try it and come back with a testimony. And also, of course, most of us enjoy this with banko or kinki, but people also enjoy this with rice. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this recipe. Also, give me a thumbs up on the video. On your way out as well, share and let's keep the family growing. And if this is your first time here, my name is Yasmi. Please consider subscribing and joining this amazing blooming family. If you're a returning subscriber, I am so blessed to have you back. And until we meet again in another video, please don't forget to keep blooming.